And if anyone has a stutter that you know or whoever's watching this, like, get them in this industry.
Seriously.
In door-to-door sales.
Interesting.
One thing is, it will change his life.
Yeah.
He'll become confident.
Yeah.
He'll earn a lot of money in it, and he'll crush it, and taught me how to run a business just by working there. I'm like, dude, don't go to college. If you want to learn business, just do door-to-door sales, and you'll earn more business than anyone.
So, hey, I'm Nate Hall. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. My name's Anthony Cirino.
Anthony. So, Anthony is a double Golden Door winner. So, back-to-back years.
No, in this year only.
Oh, this year double. Doors. Okay, that's even more impressive.
Roofing, yeah.
That is even more impressive. And so, Anthony and I were just talking, and we were talking about, limiting beliefs and limiting obstacles and things like that. And not only is he a double Golden Door winner, he also has a stutter.
Yeah, I have a stutter.
And has not let that hold him back. And that's something that, like, for all of us is inspiring. Like, we all have these things that we're like, oh no, I can't do that. That's cool that they can do that. I can't because of whatever reason that we put in there. And you are proof that you're, like, the thing that would probably hold everybody back, like, doesn't hold you back. And that's incredible. Yeah, tell us just a little bit about that. You were just talking about you're just growing up.
Yeah. I had a stutter my whole life. I had my stutter, and I remember back in, like, I don't remember what grade it was. I, like, had a speech. I gave a speech, and I started the whole time, and a lot of kids, they just laughed me out of the room.
Yeah.
While I gave the speech, I was, like, crying. I was traumatized, and then after that, I kind of hit up all my teachers. I was like, hey, please don't call on me, ask me to read, give any speeches ever. I'll do it every year.
Yeah.
Every quarter and every year, if I had a new teacher, had new classes, I'd re-email them and tell them, like, hey, don't call me, as a reminder again.
Yes.
And all of that. And then I graduated high school. I was a pretty good athlete.
Yeah.
Sports. I was a running back.
Sports? Okay.
I was running back.
Football.
I had offers in Ohio to play in, like, school.
Yeah.
And I'd be, like, completely paid for and stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't go.
Yeah.
My parents were like, throwing your life away. What are you doing? Classic parents, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I explained to them, like, what I want to do. And I didn't, like, really understand, like, what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It was just like, I want to have a business and be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And do that kind of thing, but I didn't know how. And I tried the, like, drop shipping, trading, online marketing. I tried all the online ways to make money, and it just never worked. I lost money. And my parents
and you were choosing online because it wasn't something that you had to interact with.
I didn't have to talk to people. I was like, I could be a day trader.
Sure. There's so many things I can do without having to talk to anybody.
And I just, I didn't want to talk to people. I want to use a computer and just make money online. And none of it worked. I lost my parents' money. People were like, Mom, Dad, I want to be a day trader, and here's $1,000.
Yeah.
Lost it in a day.
Yep.
I bought an Apple put, and an Apple skyrocketed
just immediately
after earnings, and I lost all $1,000.
Wow.
And my dad's like, I'm never giving you money again.
Yeah.
Like, school, you gotta go to school, And I didn't go to school. I ended up going.
Yep.
But I tried everything, and I had a buddy who ran a solar company in Tampa, and he grew up, like, a couple houses down as a kid, and I hang out with him as a kid, but he was, like, a lot older than me, and I would, like, hit him up, and I was like, dude, I hit him up, it was like 1 a.m. I text him, I'm like, hey, here's what happened. I wrote him, like, a paragraph. Like, my parents are like, you got to get a job, you got to move out because you're not going to school, or you're throwing your life away. And he's like, dude, I hate school. Yeah, like, you come work with me. Like, have an interview. I had the interview, and on the interview, I didn't stutter once.
Are you kidding me?
And the manager was like, he doesn't have a stutter.
Yeah.
He freaking killed it.
No,
He did a
he's
great
fine.
job, and he's gonna kill it.
Yep.
And then And I was like, I don't have a stutter, right? I was like all confident after that.
Yeah.
Then I left everything. I went to Tampa, and this is in 2022, end of July.
Okay.
I went to Tampa, had like $1,000 in my name.
Yep.
I was like homeless basically.
Yep.
I was in a bunch of couches. I was on a couch at this guy's house this weekend. I was at a couch at this guy's house another weekend. I was just having my head
finding another place
in my car. My whole like everything. Just in my car. I was driving around.
Yep.
And I was basically homeless. And I remember I had the orientation there, and they had me get up, and they're like, okay, what's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? Why are you doing this? And one cool thing about you.
Yeah.
And I ran through all that, and it took about 10 minutes just to answer that. And everyone else was like, quick, 1 minute.
Yeah.
And mine took like, not 10, probably, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Yeah. But it felt like 10 for you.
It felt like 10,
yeah.
And everyone was looking at me, bro, this
like
kid's
this
gonna
guy
fail.
thinks he's going to go knock doors and talk to people?
Yep.
Nah, bro.
And then after orientation, we had like, it was just a couple of the new guys that like hung out after.
Yeah.
And it was just all role playing, right? Knocking on like his door.
Yep.
And it was like, Anthony, all you got to tell him is like, hey, what's your name? I'm here working a local utility project. That's it.
Okay.
And I couldn't say it.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't say it.
Like
And
not even in the role plays.
Not even in the role play.
Yeah.
Bro. Like I got, like, I couldn't even speak any words. Like, it was like, hey, like, I couldn't even. I was like, hey,
and just froze.
I couldn't even
like,
get it out.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, what the heck's going on? And then I remember I went home that evening. It was like one day after driving across the country.
Yeah.
I went home that evening. Not home, but back at my apartment or whatever. And I went to the bathroom and I just started crying.
Yeah.
I just started crying, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this. And I called my woman, who was like a high school kid still back then.
Yeah.
Because we were so young.
Yep.
High school sweethearts were married now.
Yep.
But back then I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
This isn't for me. I hope he has like another role I can like handle.
Like an
back-end
office
work.
role, something.
Literally.
Yeah.
And her response was just like, one more day.
Wow.
Just do it
She
another
actually
day.
encouraged you versus
do it
just being
another
like,
day.
yeah, I support you in
And I
going and
was-
finding the other avenue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to come home. And her
Yeah.
answer was like, there's nothing at home here. Like, you don't have any stuff here. Like, there's nothing here for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, there's nothing there for me either.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, one more day. And I had another day, and it was role playing, and it sucked. And I went home, I'm done. And she's like, one more day. And it's just one more day until I remember we went on a blitz in Pensacola. You know where that is? Pensacola, Florida.
Yep.
And it was kind of just like, all right, Anthony, like you had some training. You watched us knock like a week or two. We're just gonna let you go. And I was like, all right, sure, I'll go at it. I went out there and I got a hat trick right away.
And
Day
this
two.
is basically
After like a couple weeks
brand
of
new
starting.
to this. Yep.
Yeah, I got a hat trick, and then 2 days later, another hat trick.
Wow.
And everyone's like, what are you saying at the doors? I'm
Right.
like, I don't know. I have a stutter, and homeowners just listening to me.
Yeah.
Like, I knock the door, and I stutter, and homeowners are like hearing me out.
Yeah.
And it's like, it helped me. And if
Interesting.
anyone has a stutter that you know, or whoever's watching this, like,
Yeah.
get them in this industry.
Seriously.
In door-to-door sales.
Interesting.
One thing is, it will change his life.
Yeah.
He'll become confident.
Yeah.
He'll earn a lot of money
Yep.
in it, and he'll crush it. And it's because it humanizes you at the door. Like, you're not just a rep. Then you're not just a guy coming in his door trying to sell him. Like, you're like, oh, he's a human. He has problems too. Like, he's dealing with stuff.
Yes.
Homeowners understand you.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, this was like the worst trait I thought I had is now like a freaking power.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, dude, you have a power. Like, you gotta keep going.
Wow.
And I was like, maybe I do have a power.
Yeah.
Maybe I do have a superpower.
Yeah.
And I believed it. And because I liked it now, I wanted to speak to people, right?
Yeah.
But what kind of stinks now is I put about 80 deals in, right? And I was waiting on like $100,000, $200,000
Yep.
in pure commissions.
Yep.
And the installer goes under.
Yep.
Every deal. In 2022,
Yeah.
in Miami, in Tampa, there's an installer that went under. You might have heard of it.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know what it was called. I don't remember what it's called. But anyways, it goes under, and I learned a quick lesson that you don't spend until you actually have the money.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was spending a bunch of M1s like it was.
You're spending the money that you knew you were owed. Like, it's your accounts
Yes.
receivable, right?
Yes.
I have all this money coming in. I'm already going to start making the purchases.
Yep.
That is what I'm going to do when that hits my account, right?
Homeowners didn't cancel. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, all right, it's
Yeah.
going to install. They didn't cancel after the 3 days.
Yep.
That's what everyone's telling me.
Yeah.
And then the installer goes under, and I was like, I hate solar. Like,
Yeah.
It's a scam.
Yes.
And like, dude,
Put a bad taste in your mouth for the industry for sure.
And in like 2022, I made about 25 grand, right?
Yeah.
And I was about to earn like 130.
Yeah.
100,
Yeah, you
at
had a
least
lot coming
150.
to you.
I had a lot coming. And every other kid would have probably just been like, it's a scam, the
Yeah.
order sucks, and just quit.
Yeah. I agree.
But I knew that it's not a scam. I have the skill.
Yeah.
I just was in the wrong industry, I believe.
Yeah. You're on the wrong
And I got into
vehicle. Like, you
roofing.
you
And I
saw
was
that the
like,
vehicle wasn't the right one.
Roofing is like, you pick up a check, you're getting paid.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
not canceled, you're getting paid. That's your money.
Simple.
And I was like, it might be lower commissions than all the other stuff, but I know I'm going to get paid.
Yeah.
And I need that. I
Yep.
know I'm going to get paid. And 2023 April, I started at a roofing company back in Ohio. I went back home, which I was scared to do because it's going back home. It's like, oh, he didn't make it down there. And I was like, fudge. Everyone's
they'll think I failed. They'll think I gave
failed.
up,
They'll
threw in
think
the
I gave
towel.
up.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was like, oh, well, I gotta go. And I didn't tell anyone I came back
Yeah.
because I lived about an hour and a half away
Yeah.
from home.
Yeah.
And I was in roofing there.
So not even like your closest friends, like they
tell my
didn't know you were
parents,
there.
my
Your parents
family.
didn't even know.
My
Wow.
parents. I came home one time.
Yeah.
After like 2 months of being home.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing here? Are you
You're like, I
what's going on? Are
actually
you
live here now.
in Miami?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, I've been here for 2 months." And he's like, "What? Like, what are you? Like, what? You've been here for 2 months? You didn't
Yeah.
come?" I was
Yeah.
like, "No, I didn't."
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't want to like. I don't know why, but I was just like.
It's that feeling
scared.
that you hadn't made it yet. You know what I mean? Like, you
And I
wanted to
told
come
everyone I
back with
would.
that success, right?
I told everyone I was crushing it.
Yeah.
Because
But you
was.
honestly, yes,
I was
you were crushing it.
Like, I was the top rep
anything
at
that
company.
happened, like, that wasn't a failure on your part. You were succeeding. You were doing all the right things. Like, you just didn't get the checks, right?
Correct. I didn't get the checks, but I got into roofing in April of 2023 as a rep. Worked there from April to August.
Yeah.
Made about 180, 190 grand in a couple months. And that was
In a couple
richest,
months?
It was April to August.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
3-4 months.
Jeez,
4
Louise.
months.
Yeah. Was this
4
like
months.
a
Roofing.
storm market
Storm
area?
in Ohio,
yeah.
Storm. It's a matching state. It's easier to sell roofing.
Yeah.
But I made 180 grand, and that was the richest I've ever felt because I went from having like 20 grand to 80 grand
Yeah.
make, and then 100, and I'm like, dude, I don't have to work at all for like a year. Like, I felt so rich.
Yeah.
Like, that is the richest I've ever felt.
Wow.
And then August goes by. I quit that company. I start my own.
Yep.
I didn't realize it, but I had a, what's it called? Non-compete there.
Oh,
Non-compete.
yep.
Violated that thing like crazy. Had to end up paying my lawyer.
Get
like
hit with some lawsuits.
$100,000,
And,
dude.
yeah.
Like, I made it 180 and I paid 100 back.
Yep.
And I was like, well, frick, man, I'm in too deep now, so I got to just do it.
Yep.
Made my own. At the end of that last year, from like August to the end, I made like $500,000
Yeah.
as my own business owner.
Congrats.
And then this year, 2024, I made profit-wise as a business. Gross profit.
Yep.
In case the IRS is watching.
Yeah.
2.8 million.
Phenomenal.
Just profit.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a couple years ago I was homeless.
Yeah.
And I didn't know like what I wanted in my life.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to have a business, be an entrepreneur, but I was like, how do I do it? And I just did door to door.
Yeah.
And it taught me how to run anything.
Yeah.
Just by working at a door-to-door company.
That's amazing.
Like, it taught me how to run a business just by working there. I'm like, dude, don't go to college. If you want to learn business, just do door-to-door sales, and you'll learn more business than anyone at school. Like,
yep.
Not even
so
joking.
True.
And
so
it's crazy. And I helped to be honest, the greatest achievement I had this year, though, wasn't the 2 golden doors.
Yeah.
It was helping my buddy who was in a bad place.
Yeah.
In April of this past year, 2024.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's always April. But April, this past year, 2024, he was in a bad place. In the span of like 2 days, his parents split, his girlfriend of 3 years cheated on him, and his grandpa died.
Blow after blow.
In the span of 2 days. And the kid was like, he was gonna kill himself. Like, actually, he was like, dude, my life's over. My parents just split randomly.
Like, what am I even here for?
Cheated on, which is like gut wrenching. And his freaking grandpa died that he was like really, really close with.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was hearing this and I was like, geez, that actually sucks. Like,
Like, what can I do for him?
I can't help you with that. But it's like, dude, I know I can help you change your life trajectory. And he's 20.
Yep.
And I'm proud because he didn't have hope back then. He had no hope. And you go to right now, today, and his whole plan has changed. He has new ambitions. He worked here and he made from April to October like about 190 grand.
Wow.
As a 20-year-old. And he's never made money before. And he's never done door-to-door sales. And I trained him and I was like, dude, I got to help this guy. Like, he has a story. I want to help him. And I want to use him as a story too. Like, I have to help this kid. And that's like the greatest thing. Plus, I just got married. Which is also
congrats.
I like the biggest thing. But it's like, helping him was honestly the greatest thing I've done.
Like, that was the pinnacle of all the achievements. Like,
and it just proves to me that you're the happiest when you help people. That's like how you are like actually happy. Because if I was alone and I made $2 million, I didn't have I didn't have my wife, I didn't have anyone here around me, I was just alone hanging out.
With money.
That would actually be horrible. That would suck. That would be horrible. And it's like, having people is what allows it to be worth it. Like, helping out my dad. Like, have you heard of like the NAD plus stuff? he's on that. He's older. I got him on that last year. After I got paid like 20 grand 1 week.
So when you say you got him on it, like you are financially
I'm paying
supporting
for
it. Yeah.
I bought him a year's worth last year.
Yeah.
And he's like, I feel insane.
No way.
He
feels the difference immediately.
He lost weight and everything. Like,
Yeah.
And then I bought him another year and a half worth this year. I'm just gonna keep buying it for him.
Yep.
Because he loves it.
Yeah.
And it's healthy for him.
Yep.
So that's like why I like having money is
Yes.
I'm able to spend on people I love
Yes.
and give them an experience they've always wanted but haven't had because I don't know.
Financial barriers. Yeah.
Financial barriers, and it's just like, you know, I don't have to do that. I earn the money,
Right.
but it's like in giving them an experience, I'm getting an experience out of it.
Yeah.
Like a top tier experience.
It sounds like that's really become like a big part of your why, right? Like,
Yeah.
like money just for money's sake, like is pretty pointless.
Yeah.
But the impact and lives you can touch and change when you have the financial means to do so, like just like that with your dad, like that is for me what money's for.
Exactly.
Like, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
And changing your buddy's life, and not only just changing it by giving him money, changing it by teaching him how to make money,
Yep.
teaching him how to
Or
have
giving him
that
the
success.
skill.
Yes, yeah.
It's
It's teaching
how
the man to
do
fish,
it, how
right?
to fish,
Yeah,
not
exactly.
just giving fish.
It's amazing. That's
That's
beautiful.
the best part, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like you can earn a lot of money, but if you don't have your health good,
Mm-hmm.
relationships, your love life, like if that's not all in check, you have a lot of money, you can have a Lamborghini, you can have a watch, and like you'll still be unhappy. Like if you
Yeah.
look at Jeff Bezos, he
Yeah.
was the richest guy in the world, but he was overweight. You see how he's not anymore.
Yeah.
He was overweight, he was unhealthy, and it was his crux in a way. Now he's freaking jacked, and
Yep.
he's like Batman,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Like, yeah, he got his health right.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, having your health right, helping people. And it's like having money just to have it is pointless,
Yeah.
you know? And I like helping people. My why, I mean, it runs, it's a crazy why.
Yeah.
It's a good why.
Yeah.
And I had a childhood that was good.
Yeah.
It was great. It was also bad at times, right? And looking back, my parents split like last year. Actually, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I made a promise to my wife that our kids won't ever go through what I went through
Yeah.
as a kid. And a lot of the problems came from a lack of money.
From a
And
lack of what?
A lack of money
Ah,
and a
yes.
lack of having the right walls and the right freaking like boundaries and processes in a relationship. And
Yeah.
a relationship is a business.
It is.
And my parents didn't have a good business.
Yeah.
And their business went under.
Yep.
Right? But luckily, her parents have been together 29 years, beautiful marriage.
Yeah.
And I watched them, and they operate not like my parents did.
Yeah.
And I just got really analytical and was like, okay, right and wrong.
These are the things they
Like-
do that leads to success. These are the things my parents did that didn't lead to success.
Just got analytical
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have trouble with getting analytical.
Yeah.
And they let like, oh, but it's our brother, it's our uncle, it's our aunt, it's my parents, and
Yeah.
he does it this way, and it's hard to not do it that way. How I did it, I just got analytical, and I was like, who has the life that I want, and what are they telling me to do, and then who has the life I don't want, and what are they telling me to do?
Yeah.
And my parents would give me relationship like help.
Yeah.
But I was like, you don't have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Why would I hear
Getting
what
financial
you say?
advice from somebody who's broke, right?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
But it's hard if it's your parents.
Yeah.
It's hard if it's your brother or your friend or buddy's parents. Like it's harder, and it's because it's like, well, it's my parents telling me this,
Yep.
and they love me, and I want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you gotta get analytical with it and just be like right and wrong. Like,
Yeah.
yes or no. It's binary.
Yeah.
It's just yes or no.
Yeah.
So that changed my life.
It's inspiring. Honestly, your story is incredible. Like, there's so many takeaways. Just the fact that you turned something that is a perceived obstacle into your greatest strength, right? Like your superpower, right? That's already amazing. It makes me wonder how many of these things we all put on ourselves that are like, actually, we could convert into that superpower if we embrace it. Yeah, and I was thinking about like a stutter, right? Like what it is a very outward vulnerability.
Yeah.
Like there's no hiding that. Like you can't mask it. We all have our vulnerabilities. We all have our like dark things or our problems that we like really mask and we hide. Like a stutter is not one that you can do that. It's like in your face right here every time. And I feel like you were talking about that success where it humanizes you because of your stutter, and it leads to the customer actually listening to you.
Yep.
And it makes me wonder, like, how can we turn how do we show that vulnerability, that human side on the doors if we don't have that stutter? And that's something more of just like an introspective question to kind of think about, because it really is that vulnerability that leads to human connection, that leads to trust, that leads to a sale. So that's like already so many takeaways from just those little things that you said, and then even going on beyond that, and it's like, okay, cool. If I can do this, so can my buddy. He needs this too, and now you're becoming the mentor. You're becoming the helper of other people. Yeah. Like it's not just cool. I'm making money for myself, which is already like another path where it just creates more success, right? Like he's doing sales, he's crushing it, and it also is your company that he's crushing it for, right? And so it's like, because of your selflessness of wanting to help another person, like naturally value brings more value back to you. Exactly. Even. And you're just creating more and more of this like positive momentum and this beautiful thing that now you can bless more lives. Now your dad's life's better. Now, you know, it's like, it's been a truly inspiring story to hear it all. I got to hear 2025. What does 2025 have in store for you?
Wow. I want to help because I won 2 golden doors this year. Now I want to help our people have a golden door award.
Okay.
And it's like, if I can do it, if I can do it, that's my whole like speech to my people. Yeah. And just whoever I meet. Yeah. If I can get a double golden door with a stutter. Yeah. After not speaking to anyone my whole life, I was at a restaurant and I'd online order every time. I'd have my parents order for me. If I can win 2 of the hardest awards to win, you can win 1. Yeah. If I can win 2, I can help you win 1. There's no doubt.
Amazing.
And that's the goal. And it isn't like I got rid of the stutter. Yeah. I didn't get rid of it. No. Because you can't get rid of it. Right. You can try to handle it, but you can't get rid of it. But I like handled it in a way.
You removed it from being a block. You know what I mean? Like
you
didn't remove it. It still exists, but it doesn't stop you from achieving anything you set out to achieve. Exactly. Including being on a freaking podcast. Yeah. Like that's something that, like, you know, you were afraid to read in class, and here you are, like, in front of a huge audience speaking. Like, it's beautiful, and not giving a shit that you're stuttering.
And I spoke yesterday on stage.
Love that.
I've never done that. Yeah. Well, once I've done it but it wasn't that many people. It was like 20 people. It was a little mastermind group, but that was like 100, 200 people.
Yeah.
And everyone came up to me after, and it clicked with me. I was nervous.
Yeah.
But then it clicked with me right after. I was on cloud 9 the whole day.
Yeah.
And it's because everyone came up to me like, dude, you inspire me.
Yes.
I have this going on. It was holding me back. And I got through it. And I actually ran into one guy yesterday who has a speech impediment.
Yeah.
And he won a golden door.
That's amazing.
I was like, dude, we got to get everyone who has a stutter in this industry and just blow up a company. And he's like, dude, let's do it.
And see a bunch of you up on the stage.
That would be the coolest thing in the world. Amazing. Because one, it's like, oh, he's at the top of his industry. He made a lot of money. But two, you understand that he also he changed his life.
Yeah.
Like he got an award, but he also completely changed his life. And that's a bigger win.
Way bigger award is doing that. Well, Anthony, I appreciate you for coming and telling your story. It's great meeting you, and I can't wait to see you up here again next year.
Yep.
See like how many Golden Door winners you bring with you
that
you have taught and inspired. So thank you for coming on. Talk to you soon.
Of course, I just.